Namaste everyone, hello everyone, and welcome to India's Daughters once again. Welcome Dr. Amia to our show. Thank you so very much for being here again. We are very, very glad and privileged to have you here the second time. So, for people who have joined us first time on this page online, and for those people who would be listening to the recording later, we just want to tell them that Dr. Amia has done a talk earlier with us, and that the talk was on women's health and Ayurveda, and that was very well received. I've got very good feedback for that talk. So that talk is available on our Facebook page and on Rumble also. So on Facebook, if you come to the video section of the page, you can see Dr. Ramia's previous talk. So that is there. Anybody should go and listen to that talk because that was a really, really informative talk on women's health and Ayurveda. Today's topic of discussion is detoxification process in Ayurveda. So we'll talk about that. But before that, I'd like to introduce Dr. Amia. So Dr. Ramia Krishnan is an associate professor at Rajiv Gandhi Medical College and has more than 21 years of clinical experience and 16 years of teaching experience. Her two major publications are Evidence-Based Ayurveda and Rational Prescribing and The Mission of Science in Medicine. Before we start the discussion, a note for the audience: people who have joined us online, they can keep typing their questions on the chat box, and we'll take them as we go or at the end of the discussion. So, as the topic says, detoxification process in Ayurveda. So, Dr. Amia, to start with, we would want to have your thoughts on what is detoxification, because, like, per my limited understanding, what I know is that detoxification is applicable to all branches of medicine. But as you are a specialist in Ayurveda, I would like to know what is detoxification and what is the detoxification process in Ayurveda. So over to you, Dr. Amia.
Thank you, India's Daughters, for calling me again on this platform. It's my pleasure to be with you again and with the audience, wonderful audience, of for this wonderful job you are doing for months. Really appreciate that. So this topic, as you said, right, there is always, I think, except for modern medicine, nowadays in modern medicine also, I see many journals, articles mentioning the term detoxification. But quite a few months before, it was more familiar in every medical system other than modern medicine. It was emphasized upon, like all other padis and all other systems of medicine, it was highlighted. So, what this detoxification in what I am speaking will be purely more focused on Ayurvedic perspective. You know, Ayurveda is a science of man on the whole. It is like science of life. So everything pertaining to human being in physiological and pathological, normal condition as well as abnormal conditions, what all subtle most changes to gross changes, everything cellular. In modern medicine, cell is considered as the fundamental unit of the body, but in Ayurveda, there are subtle most structural units which are comprised of, I mean, every cell is comprised of further minute and subtle most structural and functional units. So it is beyond the perception of modern medicine. Such a deep level intelligence, accuracy, precision, etc. for the both structural as well as functional components in relation to environment. That is another factor. Always man is appraised in Ayurveda in relation to external environment. How he is behaving to external environment constantly changes in relation to what all changes are happening in external environment. So in relation to food, in regimen, his habits, everything is producing impact in his day-to-day health and disease. So based on that, Ayurveda is perhaps the only science which handles man in his own unique environment. Two people, when you check, both these people are structurally and functionally similar, but there are many components, subtlemost components of dynamic interplay between himself and external environment, which vary from individual to individual. So coming to the topic detoxification, as the term implies, detoxification means removal of toxins, or there can be two ways to remove toxins in the body. One is neutralization of the toxins. Toxins can be neutralized. And second is elimination of the toxins. So, what are these toxins? Generally, a man with normal consciousness, normal intelligence, normal sense will not prefer to ingest or inhale toxins. So, toxins can be of two types. It can be exogenous toxins or endogenous toxins, toxins which are produced inside the body in physiology as well as pathological conditions, in health status as well as disease status. Man can make toxins in the body in real, because he is interacting with a particular kind of environment where there is very much possible to create toxins in the cells, and based on his habits of food regimen, etc. So those toxins which are produced inside the body are called as endogenous toxins. It can be by various metabolic process, normal physiological process, even abnormal metabolic pathways can also produce toxins. Normal metabolic pathways can also produce certain waste products which, when accumulate in cells, will function as toxins. Even though by nature waste products cannot be considered as toxins, they are normally drained off by the from the cells and then to the excretory organs and then outside body. But if they are accumulating inside the cells by certain reasons, by slowed digestion or impaired metabolism or some other immune system dysfunction, it can get accumulated in the body. And these accumulated waste products can be also included under endogenous toxins. Exogenous toxins are easy to understand. Those toxins which we are ingesting through food or poisoning, you are reading in newspapers, people who are committing suicide, different kinds of poisoning is happening. So all these are exogenous poisoning. So whatever it is, removal or neutralization of toxins, there is body's natural mechanisms to neutralize the toxins, and for that, homeostasis, cellular homeostasis. Always, all the cells are connected with each other. It's not like a group of cells are called as tissues, a group of tissues are called as organs, and a group of organs are called as systems. You have studied in your biology classes, respiratory, digestive, all the different nervous system. So all these different systems are again integrated with each other, and you think that excretory system is only helping in draining of metabolic and digestive waste. It is not like that. Even inside cell there is intense metabolism happening, and inside that metabolic wastes are formed, which are being drained to the excretory organs by effective drainage mechanisms of cells, and eventually they will be eliminated from the body through sweat, urine, and stool. So there are two kinds of toxins, and removal of toxin is what is called as detoxification. And in Ayurveda, coming to Ayurveda, detoxification as such is not mentioned in a separate terminology, but there is a particular thing which is called as viruddha. Viruddha means those substances which are antagonistic to our tissue elements. देह धातु प्रतिनीग भूतानि द्रव्याणि देह धातुभिर विरोधम आपद्यन्ते. Virodha means antagonism. So we think that only antagonistic. We know that people are allergic to peanuts, allergic to chocolates, allergic to certain hay or pollen. So we think that it is something which is derived in modern medicine, this hypersensitivity or allergy. It's not like that. 5,000 years old Ayurvedic science explains that there can be certain substances, exogenous or produced from inside body, which are unfavorable to the body, and such substances are called as viruddha. So that can be of different types. So they are to be either neutralized or they are to be expelled from the body. If they produce, if they emerge as toxins, toxins means that which cause destruction of tissues. Destruction of tissues. Destruction of tissue is caused by toxins. And toxins, second, it can cause adverse impact in the immune system and it can cause inflammation. So, this kind of approach is mentioned in Ayurveda also. Detoxification, even though directly there are several steps which are mentioned to produce the detoxification impact in the body.
Okay. So, ma'am, like, are there detoxification processes, like from medicines also, from say overdose of medicine? So, if somebody is taking the wrong medicine or the incorrect medicine or an overdose of it, so does detoxification take care of that as well?
Yeah. In Ayurveda, medicine is called as Bheshaja. Okay. So it is Bheshaja is the technical term for medicine. And the definition for medicine, this is one important crucial aspect that demarcates Ayurveda from Western medicine. The definition for medicine is Tadhaiva Yuktam Bhaishajyam Yadarogyaya Kalpade. That which is intended to produce health in the patient. Health is produced when disease is reversed and equilibrium, homeostasis, cellular homeostasis is attained. Then only we can call it as health. Arogya lakshanas are mentioned. How we can assess a person is healthy. So that which produces health in the body of the patient. That is what is called Bheshaja. But see what in modern medicine, uh, what Bheshaja, there is no Bheshaja in modern medicine. What a medicine or drug, they have no medicine actually, it is drug. Drug is intended to produce benefits and risk. That is the difference. When you are giving a substance to produce some benefits, definitely there will be risk also in human body because you cannot artificially make benefits. Whenever you forcibly try to make benefits, definitely you can expect risk also. Like for example, take the example of a door. As I always tell, you know the door has got a lock. If you know the right key, you can open it with a one key, a single key, right key. You can open the door correctly. But if you are not having, or if you don't know which one is the right key, you will have to apply different keys one after another. Trial and error methods will be done. And finally, sometimes lock might get opened but with a crack, sometimes in the lock or the door. So that kind of door is open, but the lock got damaged or door got damaged. So that kind of opening, you can consider it as benefit of the key. But the thing is that it is not the real thing which is intended. Intended effect is reversal of disease and health. And this is the target of Ayurveda. But in modern medicine, they are what you call weighing benefits and risk, which is more, which is less. In that point of period, in that particular study of drug, that is what they are publishing. So in Ayurveda, anything which produces side effects is technically termed as abheshaja. Abheshaja, it is not medicine. Bheshaja means medicine, opposite of Bheshaja. Abheshaja, it is also of two kinds. Badhana and Sanubadhana, immediate side effects and later side effects. Eventually, side effects is emerging. Such things are recommended to be avoided by ancient Ayurvedic scientists and physicians. Do not use a Bheshaja. Make sure you are using Bheshaja. You conduct research by principles of science of Ayurveda. Conduct research in the patient with whom you are administering this medicine and make sure it is a medicine. It will function as a medicine in his body, which is intended to reverse his pathology and produce health, leading to health. So, this is the concept of medicine in Ayurveda in relation to modern medicine. So, your question was regarding side effects. So, side effects in Ayurveda is happening by impure medication. Okay, this is one reason. Definitely, uh, any medicine which is used based on the right principle in the science, after the right diagnosis, in the right dosage, in the right patient, can produce side effects. if it is adulterated, if it is not pure processed correctly, if it is not pure, etc. If there are adulterants in the medicine, etc. That is one. Second reason is impure prescription. Impure prescription means the physician intelligence is impure. He is not aware, he is not conscious of right diagnosis. He doesn't know how to reach the right diagnosis in the patient. So, trial and error, just as I told, he is not sure what principle is to be applied to reverse the disease. So, he will be trying different medications or many medications together, which is called as Ashuddha Chikitsa in Ayurveda or impure treatment. So, impure treatment can also produce toxins in the body, and those toxins are very latent, they will remain in the tissues and they can produce slow poisoning in the body, which can emerge new diseases. So, side effects in Ayurveda are originally undesirable effects, which can be prevented because Ayurveda advocates such methods to prevent impure treatment. But in modern medicine, it is unavoidable. It is unavoidable. It's not the problem of physician. It is the problem of attitude of the science. It is the problem of attitude of pharmacology. All the drugs are intended to block, mask, suppress, alter pathways, enzymes, hormones, channels, ion channels, etc. So they cannot think of reversing a pathology. They can do in surgery, of course. They can remove the tumor. They can do in surgery, rectify something or fracture if it is a complex fracture. Surgery is derived, surgery is emerged from Ayurveda only, the basic principles. But apart from that, whatever they are considering in disease, as that's why they call it as management and not treatment. Management means somehow controlling the disease. Originally, it's not controlling, it is blocking, masking, suppressing, altering. So, that can cause impure effects or abnormal effects in, as you know, one enzymatic channel. If you try to forcibly block it or mask it, definitely it will got a detrimental impact sooner or later. So this is why they are studying side effects. This drug has got side effects because every drugs are meant to do either of these processes. So that is the difference between Ayurveda and modern medicine with regard to side effects and toxicity. Apart from that, innately toxic drugs are there in modern medicine which are direct poison. That toxic drugs are there. That in Ayurveda also toxic dravyas are there. But regarding Visha dravyas, there are specific methods advocated for their purification, how they can be converted to medicine and how they can be used judiciously to reverse the cause mechanisms. They are explained in the science. So there is lot of difference in handling the patients as treatment in modern medicine and Ayurveda.
Right. That was a very brilliant explanation, Dr. Ramia. Uh, the next question that we have is when you apply the detoxification process in Ayurveda, you have certain protocols. Do those protocols apply for everyone equally, or you have different protocols for different people based on their symptoms or maybe their body types?
So, before doing detoxification therapies, we should know whether toxins are present in the subject. It is very much important. Some people in healthy status decide that they are having, some people decide that I want to get the detoxification done. It's so much bad. It's so much wrong to think like that. You must know what are the signs. If you are having toxins in your cells, if you are having toxins in the cells, as you know, it will impact your normal physiological process. First thing, what you can feel more tired, you can feel some other problems, any kinds of diseases like allergies or some kinds of inflammatory mechanisms in your body, pain, swelling, redness, or some other reproductive conditions, any abnormalities in reproductive system like impaired fertility or impaired hormonal function or impaired metabolism, whatever it is there. So detoxification, we cannot put our hands inside the body, find out where all toxins are there. We cannot pick them and take them out of the body. Why these toxins are formed inside the body? That has to be investigated, scientifically investigated in Ayurveda. It can be scientifically investigated only by a scientific practitioner of Ayurveda. So it may not have happened in one day. It might have happened in for many days, wrong habits, wrong diet, wrong regimen, etc. And you cannot expect to purge and let all the toxins out. People think that by initiating a bowel movement forcibly, you can remove all the waste from your body. It's very much wrong. It's very much wrong to think that. I know people are doing it, taking some Ayurvedic medicine every week to detoxify, to purge and detoxify. It is very, very dangerous for you, I tell you. It's not like that. First of all, a physician will understand by your clinical profile, your history, your disease history, your life history, everything, your habits, everything will enable the physician to know whether you are having any disease or you are perfectly healthy. If you are perfectly healthy, you don't need to worry about the toxins. Toxins in your body also, you can remove them by boosting your hunger. Simple measures. If you think you are having toxins in your body without any reason, you don't have any problems, you're perfect, but you are exposed to some factories. Suppose you are a factory, working in a factory or an industrial area where you are staying, you are more prone to get some industrial what you call pollution. You can make yourself fit by following a very simple step of boosting hunger. Till you get hungry, you have to wait, you have to drink boiled water, you have to eat light and right. When you are eating junk foods, don't make it a habit. You make sure you are doing exercise at least 15 to 20 minutes morning and evening. This is fine, and you drink boiled water always, because boiled water and unboiled water are having different properties. Boiled water will help your metabolism, facilitate your metabolism and digestion, help faster, do faster, and it will help in the proper drainage mechanisms in cells also. So boiled water is always safe to drink. So you can make sure all these things are done. There is no chance of toxicity emerging. You are also protecting your immune system. See, immune system has got a very big role in catching the foreign agents, let it be pathogens or toxins, whatever it is. Your immune system recognizes it and removes it or neutralizes it immediately. And your immune system can understand and reverse the disease causing channels in your body. Many times you may not be aware that you are going to get some inflammation or cancer. Your immune cells or infection, your immune cells will recognize it first and fast and will neutralize and eradicate that without your knowledge. It is happening in a very subtlemost level inside the tissues, provided you are leading a healthy lifestyle. What I told before is the healthy lifestyle. So this is all. But when you are having a disease, definitely detoxification as such is secondary. It should happen secondary to removal of the disease from your body. Cause mechanisms of your body. Cause mechanisms of the pathologies or diseases in your body. So we will understand whether you are having metabolic error. If you are having metabolic error, what happens? Impaired metabolism in the cells. Lot of metabolic waste will be accumulated in your body, metabolic waste, and that will be accumulating in your body. And anything which is meant to be drained from the body, when persistent in the body, it will work as toxins. So they are meant to be drained on time, which is not happening. So what we have to do is we are stimulating metabolism. There are specific principles in Ayurvedic science to stimulate metabolism and to stimulate effective drainage mechanisms inside the cells. So we are doing that. We are giving you right directions in modification of your diet and lifestyle, and also we are ensuring within days that you are getting detoxified by your by your body itself, by your immune system itself, by your cells itself, by your circulation itself. There is no artificial medication or any artificial thing which we are inducing in your body for detoxifying. When you are reversing in your pathology, suppose you are having diabetes, you are prone to get metabolic waste accumulated, you can get diabetic neuropathy, you can get many other sort of complications. So we are treating for stimulating metabolism, improving the drainage mechanisms, rectifying the abnormal immune system, everything by principle oriented. That's what science based, evidence based Ayurveda, what we are doing. So with that, we are ensuring that how you can feel that you are detoxifying. It's very simple. Till the last day, you will be feeling not active. You might be feeling lethargic. You might be feeling heaviness in your body. There might be puffiness and swelling in your body. There might be many other things which your blood sugar might be raising up, even though your insulin dosages are increased. Your oral diabetic medications are increasing, but your sugar level is raising. Insulin resistance is worsening. So when you start these guidelines, what happens is day one itself you are understanding, you are feeling lighter, better, your sugar levels are improving without any anti-diabetic drugs, without any other artificial means. You are educated. So that is what SPEDA or science-based, evidence-based Ayurveda, which is pioneered by me and my husband. We are Ayurveda doctors, both of us. So we are focusing on education, which is more equal to medication. Without education, you can never reverse your disease. Education of those specific and specialized means to understand and reverse your disease. This is what we are focusing upon. So detoxification happens secondarily to reversal of disease. Suppose you are having allergy also, toxin accumulation can happen. It can cause, there are many different kinds of toxins. Sadhya Pranahara, immediate life, fatal to life. In Ayurveda, there are 4 classes of toxins. Sadhya Pranahara, Sadhyo Rogahara. Kalandara Pranahara, Kalandaro Rogahara. Means immediately causing death, slowly causing death. Immediately causing disease, slowly causing disease. 4 types of toxins are there. So immediately causing death means it could be ingested or inhaled toxins, or it can be anaphylactic reactions which are happening in allergic, mostly people who are having hypersensitivity reactions. There we are having specific treatment principles to understand and reverse. If the patient is conscious, we can we have strong protocols which will work faster and safer. But if the patient is in shock, definitely he will require emergency management. Then Kalandara Pranahara, it will not cause death very fast. It will Nana Prani Angashamala Viruddha Oshadi Basmanam. Vishanam cha Alpaviryanam. The toxins will be of Alpavirya, mild toxins. But they will be accumulating by impaired metabolism, impaired immune functioning, etc. They will be toxins will be accumulated in your cells, and it can cause autoimmune diseases, inflammation, cancers. Means cancer is not born in a day. Your immune system is compromised for many days, months, and years before. Sometimes, unless it is a very strong toxin, it takes months to develop cancer. Your body, your cells have innate potential to fight cancer. There are many anti-cancer signaling pathways and molecules and enzymes in your body which constantly fight cancer. Only when you let all these systems fail in your body, you are getting cancer. So they are called slow toxins. They are accumulating in your body, they are causing inflammation, and they are causing other diseases. Then Sadhyo Rogahara, immediately something can cause disease. Like, as you know, food poisoning is an example. Sometimes food poisoning immediately it can cause gastroenteritis like features, inflammation in your gut, and sometimes heating, samskara. See, viruddhatva or antagonism can happen in many ways. Desha, kala, agni, based on your digestion, habituation, satmya, samskara, processing of food. As you know, heating, overheating of foods. It can produce mutagens. It can produce cancer later. And burned foods, smoky foods, when they interact with intestinal microflora. Metabolic interaction with intestinal microflora can cause abnormal reactions in your gut. It can trigger sometimes inflammation, sometimes cancer. That is called samskara. Samskara means processing. So, koshta, when you are not hungry, you are eating something. If you are not hungry, you are getting something which you like, you are eating it. Viruddha adhyashana ajirna shilino vishalakshana. Viruddha adhyashana ajirna shilino. Shilino means habituation. Those people habituated with viruddha. Viruddha means those which are not desirable to their uh, digestion or their disease process or their healthy status, whatever it is, or their susceptibility to ailments, if they are habituating that. Or adhyashana, eating excess, or before the meal gets digested, if you are eating again, both are dangerous. If you are eating in excess quantity, or if you are eating again before your digestion of your previously taken meal. Nowadays, there is a very bad trend of eating small meal frequently. It's very dangerous. It can cause accumulation of toxins, accumulation of metabolic waste in your cells. You have to eat only when your hunger is maximum. So, Viruddha, Adhyashana, Ajirna, those who are having chronic indigestion, all these people can produce Vishalakshanas. They are not directly poisoned, but poisoning effect can happen in them. This is what Ayurvedic science says. So you need not take in toxins. You need not, you might think that I am not taking antibiotics, I am not taking steroids. Then why I got this disease? Why I got inflammation? Why I got free radicals in my body? It can be by your wrong, this kind of eating habits. Taking bath after eating. Again, it is a very wrong process. Many people are nowadays taking bath 6 times and 7 times a day. It's very dangerous to take bath frequently above food and all. Above food, if you are doing bath, it can also hamper the digestion. It can slow down the digestion. It can improve or it can stimulate the production of toxins and waste products in your body. And also exercising after food. All these are wrong habits. You have to exercise in empty stomach. So it is very easy to produce toxins these days, but you cannot reverse them by yourself. Understand that. If you induce emesis or vomiting, if you induce bowel movement, or if you take some supplements or herbal supplements or some Ayurvedic medicines, you must know that you can never achieve detoxification because it is a highly complicated thing which is happening, which is done by the cells inside your body. You cannot do detoxification by yourself unless you know why you think you need detoxification, how also, and what can be done. It is left to the physician. So detoxification on the whole, it is done by, in the case of hypersensitivity disorders, we are doing specific principles to not to prevent, I mean, not to avoid the allergens. We are not doing to avoid the allergens. Peanut allergy is there, avoid peanuts. Hay fever is there, avoid hay. We cannot live today in the world by avoiding dust, smoke, peanuts, flowers, etc. What we have to do is, it is by abnormal immune system. That's what I told. Immune system has got a very big role in detoxification. So Ayurvedic science is completely focusing on immune system to rectify its abnormality. It's not slow immune, I mean it's not less or declined immune strength. It is abnormal immune strength. It is altered immune system. We call it as Bala Vyapat in Ayurveda, abnormal immune system. That's why these kind of reactions, autoimmune diseases, etc., is happening. Your own body cells are recognizing your own cells as foreign cells. Your own cells are recognized as foreign cells and trying to reject. So inflammation will set in and you will get very dangerous form of inflammation, which will be suppressed by steroids and other things in modern medicine. But in science-based, evidence-based Ayurveda, there are methods, specific and specialized methods. All these are toxin-induced diseases, even exogenous toxins as well as endogenous toxins. Right.
Sure, Dr. Ramya. So we actually had a question from Rupali Patel. She was asking how does one deal with toxin removal at basic level. So I think you've kind of answered that question. So for Rupali, like I believe that Dr. Ramya has answered that question on the about the basic toxin removal process. So if you have any follow up questions, do type in on the chat box, and we'll take that once again. We'll take that later. Now, Dr.
I think,
Ramya, yeah,
excuse me, I think I missed one important point here.
sure, go
Nowadays,
ahead.
Panchakarma, there are 5 serious procedures in Ayurveda mentioned. Panchakarmas, five procedures are mentioned in Ayurveda, which includes this purging and all. It's not mere purging, it is giving medication. There are pre procedures and post procedures. 5 procedures are mentioned, which are considered as detoxification by even by Ayurveda doctors. But I would like to point out that Panchakarma procedures, the 5 specific methods to eliminate the morbid factors in your body, specific morbid factors in your body, is not detoxification. It is not detoxification. You cannot do detoxification by Vamana, Virechana, Nasya, Rektamoksha, etc. You cannot remove toxins from your body by doing this Panchakarma procedures. What you are removing by scientific Panchakarma procedures is excessively accumulated morbid causative factors inside your body, which are technically termed as malas. Malas are doshas. Doshas are also a technical terminology which I do not want to explain in a layman's perspective. But still, you can watch my video on Panchakarma is not detoxification. There is a video in YouTube where you can find the details of that. If anybody tells you that you can do detoxification by Panchakarma, understand that he is only cheating you, because Panchakarma is not detoxification. Okay, toxin removal. It cannot happen by Panchakarma. Panchakarma, if it is done in wrong status, wrong patient, etc., it can generate toxins, and it can make you sick permanently also, because it is such a serious procedure as surgery. It requires lot of care to consider indications and contraindications before you go for it. That's it.
Sure, thank you. So basically, before that, I was telling Rupali Patelji that probably her question on how to deal with toxin removal at the basic level has been answered by you. But should she have any follow up questions, she can type in on the chat box. Now, yes, and the second thing that we can do is the video. I'm going to post it on the page after this talk, or maybe in a day or two. The video on Panchakarma, we'll post that so everybody can have a look. Lakshmi Venkatesh ji is asking about intermittent fasting. So she's confused. She's saying that how to do, how frequently, and will that self help in Ayurveda will help those who don't have regular access to SBBA doctors. So basically, she's trying to ask that your opinion on intermittent fasting.
Actually, intermittent fasting as such is not advocated in Ayurvedic science. What is advocated is to wait till good hunger emerges. Wait till good hunger emerges. It is not like depriving of food when you are hungry also. What matters is emergence of proper hunger. Generally, previously consumed meal takes 3 hours to completely digest in a healthy person. But if you want to extend it to boost your hunger a little bit more, like your hunger score 5 by 5 is unbearable, you want to eat something that at least your hunger score should be 4 on 5 or 4.5 on 5 to eat. So you may need 3 meals only a day. 3 meals only if a person is getting hunger on time. 3 meals will be fine. But if you are want to extend it, 2 meals also is fine. But if you want to extend it beyond, it can cause adverse impact in your body. So it is like when your hunger is emerging and whether you are fit to do fasting, that also matters. That also matters. Some people like in the same way as in modern medicine, keto diet, etc., which are very abnormal forms of slowing down or cutting down nutrition. Abnormal in the sense they are not compatible to the biological what you call harmony in the cells and human body. So such kind of abnormal things are to be avoided. And based on your, that's what I told before, easiest way is to boost your hunger. Make sure that your hunger score is at least 4 on 5. If it is happening less than 3 hours, definitely your hunger assessment is wrong. You should not be eating for 3 hours if you have had a proper meal. That is the point.
Right. Thank you, Dr. Ramia. So Lakshmi Venkatesh is also asking how important are the dinacharyas that is in everyday lifestyle like nasya, oil pulling, abhangya, etc. So can this be incorporated in our present day urban lifestyles because there are time pressures and lifestyles. So your thoughts on those, Dr. Ramia?
Regarding Dinacharya, the Ayurvedic texts are written based on people, conditions of people living in that 5,000 years old period. How they were living, they were not exposed to this much polluted environment. They were not having the chances of free radicals and toxin formation in the body as vigorous as what is happening today. So, based on that living conditions, it was okay to adopt all these things, oil pulling and everything what is mentioned in Ayurveda right from the time of waking up till sleep. What is advocated as a, it is not advocated as a hard and fast rule. That also is important. Nowadays people think that it has to be advocated as it is every time. It's not like that. Nothing. Natu shastra matra sharanam nacha analojita agamaha. Scientists have written very properly that you should not be blindly following text, science. At the same time, you should not be handling people without considering science. You should be according to the situation. According to the situation, you have to modify your intelligence in the science. That is most important. So in the present scenario, most of the people are not healthy. That is one thing. Most of them are having immune disorders, metabolic disorders, circulatory disorders, hormonal disorders, and tumors, etc. There are many different kinds of people are on drugs, 5 to 20 drugs, especially people who have crossed 60s. They are on multiple drugs, even 50s. They are having multiple drugs. So, in such a condition, if you are doing all these things, oil pulling and all abhyanga, everything, you can end up in more dangerous forms of abnormal altered pathologies in your body, because there are specific conditions where you are advised to do oil pulling or abhyanga, where oil application is to be done, where oil application is contraindicated. There can be infective inflammatory pathologies in your body which are unrecognized by you. So it is not like the simplest way is waking up. Also there are people who are working throughout the night shifts are there. They are supposed to sleep in the daytime. It's not like, generally daytime sleep is contraindicated in Ayurveda, but you cannot make it as a hard and fast rule, because nowadays there are IT professionals who are working at night, so they need adequate sleep in the daytime. Getting sleep is important. So what, how, when, where, why, everything matters. So you cannot make a generalized uniform dinacharya for all people in India or all people in the world as such. But still the things which you have to take care of it, personal hygiene. You have to understand the objectives of dinacharya. What is the objective of all that written? You have to get up in the morning, means you will be fresh in the early hours of morning if you have had an adequate sleep. So it is important to get adequate sleep and wake up fresh. Whenever you are waking up fresh, it means that you had sound sleep and you don't have any abnormal pathologies in your body. You have to do exercise. When you have to do exercise in empty stomach, you have to do. And whether you are fit, acharyas have also told, that ancient scientists have told, you have to think about your body. That portion is missed by general readers and even Ayurveda doctors who are emphasizing upon practice of dinacharya blindly as in text. They are not caring to see the exact words of the ancient scientists. They have to consider their body status. First of all, the people who are following this healthy regimen should understand their body status, whether they are getting appropriate hunger, whether they are feeling any feverish, or whether they are feeling lethargic or tired, whether all these matters before bath. If you are taking bath, if you are tired also, suppose it is not by normal physiological tiredness, it can be by infection you are tired, inflammation you are tired, indigestion you are tired, and you are going to take bath, it can worsen the pathology. It's not that every day you have to take bath. You have to think of your body status, and according to the body status you have to decide what to do. So this part is the crucial part which determines the benefits and risks of dinacharya. As such, dinacharya is intended to produce intended effects. As I told, Ayurveda, there is nothing called benefit risk. You are deciding whether you have to get intended effects or you should get risk. Risk means impure treatment or impure application. You are exposed to risk. So it's a very good question. I think people do not know these. Even as preventive measure, people are doing oil pulling and all. It's very dangerous. Prevention from infection, etc. It is very dangerous. It can in fact it can facilitate the chances of getting infection, particularly if your digestion, metabolism, etc. is impaired. So there are no hard and fast rules.
Sure. Thank you, Dr. Ramia, for the clarification. Now, we are talking about detoxification. One of the issues that is discussed recently and discussed widely is about the vaccine detoxification. So basically, post the COVID vaccine, we have seen many people suffering from side effects, and then there are people who are kind of claiming to have blanket detox protocols and things like that. So we just wanted to know your thoughts on the detoxification process post the vaccine. So it could be any of the vaccines. Lakshmi Venkatesh is also asking a similar question. She's asking if you can clarify about the detox from mRNA vaccines. She's specifically mentioning mRNA, but we do know that it is applicable for all the others as well. And because it's she's noticed that there are shingles, skin ailments that are happening in young people, and yeah, so even in very young ages. So your thoughts on the vaccine detoxification process in Ayurveda, your thoughts on that, and how is it different for everybody? I have a follow-up question myself, but then once you complete this maybe.
Actually, vaccines are not discussed in Ayurvedic science, right? There is no artificial immunization method. So, as such, there is no artificial vaccine detoxification explained in Ayurveda. But Ayurveda, the uniqueness of Ayurveda is that it explains certain principles, logics, and algorithms which will enable a sincere and dedicated physician of any age, past, present, and future, to develop applied thinking and understanding and apply these principles in every age to attain the intended effects. That is the success of Ayurvedic science, because it is not based on medicine, it is based on principles, science. There are solid deterministic science in Ayurveda which is explaining the all the how, what, why, when, where, in interaction with of human body with external environment. So vaccines as such it is mainly focused on generating antibodies. There are two stages of immune response: innate immune response and adaptive immune response. In every infection, natural infection, your innate immune system is working so actively. There are so many, they are called as policemen. There are so many different types of immune cells which are working so hard, recognize the foreign body toxins or germs or whatever it is, they will alert all the cells. They have different mechanisms to phagocytose, to ingest, kill cytotoxic killer cells. Many different types of killing mechanisms are there, and phagocytotic, like ingesting mechanisms, are there for innate immune system to eradicate these what you call germs or the toxins released by them. So innate immune system can independently or with the help of adaptive immune system. Innate immune system will stimulate. I mean, this is what I am speaking about is natural infection. In the end of natural infection, when a natural infection emerges, innate immune system first of all fights, and it eventually stimulates the adaptive immune response, leading to the production of healthy antibodies, which are, so first one is non-specific. Innate immune system is working non-specific. Whatever germ it is, it doesn't care. It will fight and win. That is the approach of innate immune system. But adaptive means specific. The specific antibodies will be produced from bone marrow, etc., to neutralize these antigens, and also memory cells will be produced. So vaccine is mainly focusing on this artificial means to generate antibodies. And messenger RNA vaccine, as such, it is having, nowadays I have seen so many studies very from authentic journals to prove that, not only to substantiate that this messenger RNA vaccine is causing adverse impact in innate immune system, because it is directly this stimulating the antibody production. So innate immune system, there are many immune cells like dendritic cells, etc. These dendritic cells are natural immune cells which will fight infection, which are present in the blood. But during a viral infection, they will be moving, they will be migrating to lymphoid organs. Okay, and they will stimulate the production of certain proteins called interferons. Interferons are proteins present in the cells which are very actively fighting virus and also actively fighting tumors. So there is, interferons are specialized cells, specialized proteins in the cells which will fight tumors or cancer as well as viral fevers. Commonly, they can fight. So these dendritic cells in infection, it is a part of innate immune response. They will move to these lymphoid organs where they will upregulate the formation of this interferon proteins, and these interferons will destroy these virus, destroy the replication of virus. Virus cannot multiply in interferons. When interferons are formed sufficiently, virus cannot multiply. They will be deactivated and destroyed and removed through excretory pathways. So this is what is happening. But COVID vaccine, as the studies imply, they are causing significant interference in interferon pathways, which means interferon upregulation process is very much adversely impacted by COVID vaccines, or innate immune system is adversely affected. So what happens? There are chances of viral replication. There are chances of late emerging the latent infections. A person who is not having infections before, or deep inside the cell infection, latent infections will get reactivated. It can go reactivated because of impaired interferon signaling or interferon production. It can happen. That is one thing. And second thing, it can also produce, it can also slowly only fight the infection, because instant fighting is done by innate immune system. When you are doing something adverse to innate immune system, instant fighting will not happen. So slow fighting has its own problems, and it can worsen the infection also. Many times, as we know, there are many people who have got hospitalized after vaccination and who have unfortunately lost their lives also. And another thing is that more significantly, it can cause adverse impact to tumor formation, because interferons are protecting from tumors. So these vaccines are functioning against interferon pathway. So it can adversely affect that also, leading to the chances of getting tumorogenesis, like the development of tumors, benign and malignant tumors in later stage of life. That can also happen. Apart from that, these mRNA vaccines, they will release so much of what you call, there are many different kinds of toxins released which can produce inflammation. mRNA nanoparticles, they can release exosomes. Exosomes are released, and these exosomes contain many things which can produce spike proteins, etc., which can produce inflammation in the body. Inflammation. So it can cause local inflammation or systemic inflammation. So this is not what I am telling. These are based on several authentic studies emerged in different journals, science, etc., reputed journals, even PMJ, and even British Medical Journal, BMJ, and many other authentic websites. And this is another thing. So more prone to get inflammation. And the third thing, there is BRCA gene. BRCA, there is a gene which protects from cancer of the breast, uterus, ovary, etc., normally present in human being. And this vaccine contains many things which are adverse to BRCA gene also. So there can be different kinds of abnormal mutation and abnormal DNA damage. This, as I told you, this spike proteins are released from the vaccine particles. So the spike protein particles, they can cause DNA damage, they can cause inflammation in cells, and they can work as neurotoxins also, which can be toxic to neurological pathways, causing neurodegenerative changes. I myself have witnessed many patients who are having sudden onset of dementia, memory loss, depression, neuropsychiatric problems, hormonal dysfunction, even breast abscess. I didn't see any breast cancer after vaccine, but I have seen 2 cases of breast abscess after vaccine. Then, worst of all, it is causing disruption of immune system. So it can cause dysregulation of cancer protection mechanism and immune mechanisms, making the body unable to distinguish self and non-self. What is the part of that body and what is not the part of that body. So it can cause complete confusion to immune system, and it can cause sudden abnormal proliferation, uncontrolled autonomous proliferation of cells, which is otherwise called as cancer. I have seen some newly emerged cancers, even cancer deaths. One of my school friend, within 20 days he passed away. He was a healthy person. Within 20 days he passed away by brain tumor. So I have seen direct cases. And apart from that, mRNA vaccine can cause an immunological response similar to direct infection. Direct infection also causes on exposure to virus. It is not bite of virus that is called as infection. Infection is the healthy immune response to virus. But vaccine is causing an unhealthy immune response to virus. Why I am calling it unhealthy? Because it is not attained through proper natural course, like stimulating innate immunity in the proper way, and enabling innate immune system to work in favor for adaptive immune system. Such things are not happening. So we can call it as abnormal, but they think it as favorable. Whatever it is, there is an abnormal immune response happening similar to respiratory infection. So what happens is, it can cause inflammation. It can cause inflammation in the heart muscle. If it is happening, it can cause myocarditis. We know that there are many evidences. Even cardiologist in UK, I don't remember his name, he's talking such a lot about it, the link between uh, this mRNA vaccine and myocarditis. He's doing that. And not only him, there are many works I have read, authentic works which I have read. So you cannot completely conclude something as safe unless its pros and cons are analyzed for years, months and years. That's what modern medicine is also telling. Modern medicine is telling what? Don't conclude anything. That is what is called science. You have to question everything. Don't conclude that this is this. Then on what basis they are telling that this is concluded as safe? Because it is peer review journal support is there. There is support from peer review journals. We have done toxicity studies. This support is in the sense benefit and risk. Support doesn't mean intended effect and health. The best immune mechanism to ward off infection is definitely health. The mechanisms which facilitate health, that is what the best immune agent to fight infection. But that is not what vaccines are doing. Not only messenger RNA vaccine, any flu vaccine or anything, it is doing something abnormally. So what is to be done? Okay, this is the study which is done so far. These are the things which are finally concluded based on our studies. These are the benefits and risks which are concluded. Yet we need time to conclude something, and we have to establish. They cannot establish because it is based on inductive reasoning. It is based on unknown compound. It is based on unknown science. Science is emerging only. They don't have basic principles to confirm or reason or rationalize something as medicine. And if at all it is concluded also, it is based on blocking, masking and other things. So based on what reason? I used to wonder at this approach. They themselves are making contradictory opinions. They are telling that you should question everything. You should question this, that. You cannot say that this is final. But still they are telling that this is finally safe. Nothing to worry. They are telling that vaccines do not cause autism. How do they conclude? Because we are finding so many contradictory study reports. We are finding patients, realistic patients, whose parents are telling after 2 months of MMR vaccine, this thing has emerged. My child was pretty well till that time. After that, whatever milestones are developed, it is showing regression. I don't know, doctor, what happened. So when I note down the vaccine date, mostly MMR vaccine, I'm telling. I don't want to prove it like MMR vaccine cause autism. I don't want to prove, because what I have found in my practice as close and constant link, I'm telling, I'm mentioning. So if I have read so many studies that vaccines do not cause autism, on what basis it is written conclusive? It is written so confirmingly that you need not worry. Vaccines are absolutely safe things. Natural infection is worse than vaccination. I mean, natural infection has its own pros and cons. If you know how to reverse a natural infection, it is easy. If you don't know, it becomes difficult. That is another thing. Okay, so failure of something cannot be concluded as something which is confirmation approved. No problems, absolutely safe. They themselves are asking us to question everything. Finally, they are not allowing us to question also. They themselves are making contradictory opinions. This is what is making me upset. I'm thinking why they are like this. Actually, critical reasoning is what is required for every person. Critical reasoning is the right of every citizen of the world, every country of the world. He has a right to know, because it is something which is injected or ingested in his body or his child's body. They have the rights to know. Your body is your right. You have the right to know what you are taking, no matter whether it be modern medicine or homeopathy or Ayurveda. You have the right to know what you are expected to achieve by that thing. If it is not happening, definitely there should be studies, peer review journals. Are these peers gods? Only God can be ultimate. Ultimate truth is God only, no. These peers, they are also scientists. They are also working to find out something, to explore something. They themselves are told that still many things are to be explored. Then why and how something published in peer review is considered to be ultimately correct or ultimately great? I don't know, because natural conditions, natural situations, Let they take what you call reports from doctors like us of every system, not only modern medicine, survey. If somebody is coming to me and asking me how much post mRNA vaccine, how many people got COVID, I can give a statistics. How many people got very high level of infection and reach you? How many people got other diseases? Liver dysfunction. There are people who have got sudden liver dysfunction. Youngsters. I have a 3 or 4 cases of youngsters between 20 and 30 years who had liver dysfunction. Sudden reason. They are not alcoholic, they are not having any bad habits, still they got. So it is not, it is vaccine as such abnormal method to immunize a person. I am not telling that it is not needed, because for modern medicine that is the way. See, people have the right to choose. For modern medicine, as they have no treatment for viral fever, they have to study virus for long period. So if those people who want to adopt that method, let them go for that. But if you are mandating something all around the world, I don't understand the logic. Frankly, mandating something means you should ensure that it will cause health to them. Only if you are able to produce health in them, you can mandate it to someone. So this is something like vaccines on the whole. I would like to conclude that it is an abnormal means. As you know, it is artificial immunization. It is causing abnormality as being a foreign body. Being a foreign body to human cells. Body will consider it as a foreign body itself. And there are many other things like adjuvants, certain other chemicals like adjuvants, preservatives. They are telling this is free from mercury, I don't know. And the more you modify them, their side effects will increase. mRNA vaccine, modified RNA molecules. So I have read it in a journal that the more you modify it, side effects and toxicity will increase. I don't know to what extent they are modifying. And we people who are taking, I mean, those people who are resorting to this, they have no idea about all these things, what I have mentioned now in this talk. They have the right to know no basic things which are to be known to them. You have the chance of getting an infection. They are telling that you have the chance of getting an inflammation at the swelling at the injection site. That is the only thing they are telling no. But there are many things beyond no. Even they are not sure no. After years, what will happen? So they should be honest. I think honesty and integrity is lacking in today's vaccine research. That is what I want to conclude. Yeah.
Sure, Dr. Remia. So on the same lines, Jayant Bharadwaj was asking how to eliminate heavy metals from the body due to the obviously the vaccines. So because he's saying clotting is kind of attributed to it. So his question is how to eliminate heavy metals from the body.
See, vaccines are causing very abnormal immune response. So you are more prone to get inflammation, neurodegenerative conditions, etc. So what is to be done is stimulate your digestion, metabolism, not by any medicine. You boost your hunger, you drink boiled water. If you are going to a scientific Ayurveda practitioner, they will tell you medicated water. Water process, in SBBA, we are adopting medicated water therapy, like right herb boiled in water, habituation. You can habituate it. I cannot make a universal herb. I cannot tell that. I'm sorry. So, depending on your immune status, metabolic status, and your proneness to disease status, you will be advised certain herbs for medicated water. You will be advised exercise. You will be advised scientific nutrition schedule, like what all for 1 week every month if you have had 2 or 3 doses of vaccine. But as I told you, this is deep seated damage, that is, or deep seated abnormality, as I know, as I told you, DNA damage, or this kind of things are happening. So we cannot, by any vaccine, there can be abnormal immune system. So it is not just like removal of toxins. It is not possible. So you have to habituate with scientific diet, scientific medication if at all needed for you. Then healthy lifestyle. You have to habituate. And this scientific fasting, how to do scientific fasting or boosting hunger, that will be also educated by SBBA practitioners are there who can guide you. And to a large extent you can protect your immune system, you can stimulate your digestion, metabolism, circulation, and your healthy immune system are the four components which will reduce the adverse effects or nullify the adverse effects of vaccine. In Ayurveda there is a reference, very important reference, vyayama snigdha deeptagner vayastha balashalinam virodhya na pidaya. Vyayama, one who does, one who is habituated to do physical activities in empty stomach. Snigdha, snigdha means medicated geese. Those who are taking medicated geese inappropriate to their health or disease for a specific period. Deeptagner, one who is boosting their hunger till hungry, fully hungry, he is not eating anything. He is not eating frequently. Vayastha, in young age, in Ayurveda, youth is mentioned up to 70 years. If you decide you can stay young up to 70 years, that's what Ayurveda science is telling. Maybe 5,000 years before conditions were different, but still the guidelines are same. We can try that, adopt that guidelines. And Vayastha Balashalina, one who is having good immune system, healthy immune system. Virodhya Bhina Pidaye. Those people, these Viruddha, those which are antagonistic to your body tissues, let it be food or medication or environmental pollutant, whatever it is, they will not cause adverse reactions easily. It will not. So these are the steps which are to be resorted by all people who have had different kinds of vaccination.
Right. Ramya ji, Avinash Avasthi was asking your thoughts on shedding. And whether those who are unvaccinated, are they kind of impacted? Should they undertake the detox process?
Unvaccinated,
Are
sorry,
they also impacted due to shedding? And should they also undergo the detox process?
actually what I understand from the whole career is that those people who are taking this abnormal management, resorting to abnormal management synthetic drugs, like for especially in the case of infection, antibiotics, not only vaccines, antibiotics, etc., their immune system will be abnormal in eradicating the pathogens. So they are more prone, even mRNA, whatever vaccines or whatever it is. Because why? Because their immune system is not healthy. No. So no healthy immune system means they are prone to shed more pathogens. They are more prone to shed pathogenicity with regard to any infection. So what this non-vaccinated, unvaccinated people should do is they should also make sure that they have a healthy digestion, healthy metabolism. They should do exercise regularly. Their eating habits should be taken care of. They should be drinking medicated water, scientifically chosen medicated water, etc. And if at all required, medication at certain interval, like for example 40 days or 30 days for 1 week. There are many medications which, if intended, are prescribed by scientific Ayurveda practitioners to stabilize healthy immune system, to stabilize healthy metabolism, etc. Not many medications, not rasayanas. There are people who take gold containing formulations, Chavanaprasha, etc. This is not what is intended by me. There is no role of all these medications. If you are taking it in a very wrong status, it can cause more damage to your body. I tell you, everything is very much scientific in Ayurveda. Only scientific practitioners can decide what is intended. Definitely, unvaccinated people, they are not spreading infection actually, but still they can do everything to ensure that they are minimizing, they are spreading very, they are not at all spreading infection, and they are eradicating virus from their body, virus or any pathogen from their body. Within 2 to 3 days, it is possible with our Hastalamba project. We are doing a project. I am sure India Daughters channel would like to know about it. We are doing a viral fever first aid program, free first aid program Our coordinators and volunteers are still active 24/7. I can share the link. Any part of the world, any person can register if they have a viral or any sort of infective fever. And our coordinator physicians, we have given specific training to them in science-based, evidence-based Ayurveda. They will help you to eradicate infection without any medication by our scientific strategies, scientific medicated water, etc. You will have to abide by their instructions and policies completely. You will get well. You can strengthen your immune system and metabolism. So there are multiple options available for you.
Sure. Thank you, Dr. Ramia. So Nidhi Gupta, she's asking how to get rid of respiratory allergies. I think she's from Delhi NCR, and she's saying where Nidan Parivarjan is not possible. And similar to this question, we have another question from Avinash Avasti, who's asking about the detox process for radiation, chemtrails, and say, for example, 5G.
Yeah. Actually, I think I will take the second question because first question is little bit out of topic and vast regarding allergy and all. So I think I will take the second question as I have an assignment at 5 o'clock. I'm sorry for that. So, but I'm ready to answer it under this. If you are leaving this talk, I can come back and answer it here
Yeah,
itself.
you can type in your answers later also. It will
Yeah,
stay
yeah,
on
yeah. Definitely,
page. You can
definitely,
type
I
in
will
the
do.
answer for that. Yes.
Yeah,
And
because I
if you,
have.
do you want me to repeat the second question?
Yeah, yeah. Radiation, as you know, it is not a toxin. Radiation actually it is causing damage to tissues. There are ionizing radiations, different types of ionizing radiations, which will ionizing radiations means they will display the electrons from the nucleus. That's why they are called ionizing. So they can cause mutagenic response. They can cause carcinogenic response. They can they can inhibit the healthy cell replication. They can cause cellular death or necrosis. There are so many natural and unnatural ways. Medically, there are many causes of radiation like X-rays. There is cobalt radiation, injection of radioactive iodine that can cause thyroid cancer because accumulation of iodine happens in the thyroid. There are many occupational hazards. People who are working in industrial area, engineers, etc. It can cause deep seated damage. DNA cells can go damaged. But what we can do is reduce the exposure as much as possible, and immune protection methods in Ayurveda, scientific immune protection methods, because cancer or destruction of tissues are happening mainly because of immune system abnormalities. But direct DNA damage, we cannot prevent it. Only thing we can do is we have to reduce the exposure, especially 5G and all. Even small children are hypersensitive to all these radiations. Generally, brain is less sensitive to radiation in adult, but in children it is hypersensitive. So it is always advisable to use all these technological advancements to an optimal level, not beyond the limit. And even eyes also very much hazardous. Radiations can affect eyes, skin cancers, ultraviolet rays can cause skin cancers. So all these things we can minimize the exposure and we can protect the immune system. These are the two methods which can be adopted in Ayurveda to protect from radiations. And we can avoid unnecessary this diagnostic techniques and all, X-rays and all. Nowadays, only in limited cases, I am advising X-rays. Not in every case. Wherever CT scan, etc., radiation exposure is there. Not in ultrasound. So we can go for safe interventions. We can confine the radiation required things to a very necessary conditions only. Like that we can adopt as doctors.
Thank you, Dr. Emir, for answering this. And as you said, you have another assignment at 5 p.m. So
Yeah, I
maybe we'll
have.
conclude the talk here. We'll give you 5 minutes of breathing space. And there are some questions that we haven't been able to take. Some of those are related to detoxification, some of those are generic questions on Ayurveda. So whenever you have the time and at your convenience, maybe you can visit the Facebook page. The comments will stay there. Maybe you could put your thoughts and comments and answers under those questions. So whenever at your convenience, ma'am.
Definitely, I'll do that. My pleasure.
Yeah, so thank you very much for joining us, and thank you the audience for this very active participation. So it was a very useful discussion. Surely, I think there are many questions which still need to be answered, but yeah, for another interesting topic, we will surely want to have you another day. So thank you once again, Dr. Ramya, and thank you for all the good work that you were doing. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for your feedback also, and I hope most of the people will be benefited from this. I'm always happy
Yes,
to
I
join you
believe so
anytime.
because this is one of the topics which has been widely discussed of late.
Yeah,
And so we thought that it was very important to kind of remove some misconceptions because everybody seems to be going for detox, which, as you said, is not the right way to go about.
right.
So, yes, thank you once again. And thank you, audience, for joining us. I will see you some other time for another interesting topic. Thank you very much. Namaste.
Namaste.